Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from PaulthePoke.com. Today's topic: China and India clash in Kashmir. We are June 17, 2020. Scripture reference is out of Revelation 16, verse 12. The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. Now, yes, the context of the kings from the east is the bowl judgments. This is the latter third of the tribulation in the book of Revelation. The events taking place on the Chinese-Indian border are not the fulfillment of prophecy. So what's going on here? We're not that late in Revelation. The seals have yet to be broken, for crying out loud. We haven't even started. But it's worth watching. It is a trend, and we need to pay attention to it. June 16, 2020, China and India are literally fighting deadly combat hand-to-hand. The incident is taking place in the Himalayas in the Galwan Valley. Reports indicate guns have not been fired, and soldiers are engaging with rocks and batons, sticks. I mean, this is very primitive warfare we got taking place, but it is deadly. And India claims to have lost 20 soldiers. China states they have 43 injured and or dead. So this has got a map here, and this is courtesy of Daily Mail out of the UK. This is the Galwan Valley right here, little red dot. So here's China. To the south and to the west is India. Indian occupied here in the pink. Pakistan occupied in the green. And China and India have had little skirmishes going on since about 1963. I think 75 was another. And they've been going at each other. Not very often, but they have, and there have been some disputes. And I think it is important to note these are the two largest militaries in the world, just from a sheer numbers standpoint. Now, according to Google, India has a population of 1.353 billion people. China has a population of 1.393 billion people. And these two countries account for almost 40% of planet Earth's population. So when we look at Revelation 16:12, the kings of the east, both of these countries have enough people to meet the criteria. Now, God's got a couple of options here. We don't know which one. If you want to get into this skirmish more detail, you can go to this link I got provided right here from dailymail.co.uk. 3 Indian soldiers killed fighting Chinese forces disputed Himalayan border. And that goes into lots of detail. They've got some pictures and a few videos. But this is a big deal. These are the two of the biggest, most populous countries on the planet, and they're going at each other. And I saw today in the news, India's even thinking about preparing for wartime efforts and telling their people to start stocking up on food. So they're not happy about it. Now, for prophetic purposes, I would lean toward the kings of the east being from China, because of the following two verses. Isaiah 49, verse 12, look, they come from far away. Look, some come from the north and the west. That would, relative to Israel, that would probably be Europe. And others come from the land of Sinim. That's the word we're going to want to pay attention to here in a little bit. Genesis 10, verses 16 through 18, the Jebusites, Amorite, Girgashites, Hivites, Arkites, Sinites, Arvadites, Amorites, and Hamathites. Eventually, the families of the Canaanites were scattered. So these are the sons of Canaan, the Sinites. Sinites, Sinim, that's the idea. And I found this article. I've used this several times. So for you folks who followed along, you're like, this is a broken record or it's review. That's fine. I think it bears repeating. And this is from the Genesis record. It's by Henry Morris. It's an excellent book. Nice reference book regarding things leading up to Genesis 6. I would recommend purchasing it. For those of you folks who are interested in the pre-flood world, the biblical mention of a people in the Far East named Sinim, Isaiah 49:12, together with references in ancient secular histories to people in the Far East called Sinai, at least suggests the possibility that some of Sin's descendants migrated eastward, while others went south into the land of Canaan. It is significant that the Chinese people have always been identified with the prefix Sino. So, for example, the Sino-Japanese War, sinology, the study of Chinese history, the name Sin, S-I-N, not to be confused with sin, is frequently encountered in Chinese names in the form of Siang or its equivalent. Now, Morris will admit the evidence is tenuous, but all the names in the Table of Nations, it does seem that two sons of Canaan, Heth, Hittites, equal Cathay, equal Cathay. So I don't know if you guys remember the airline Cathay Pacific. That would lend itself to be toward China. And Sin equal Sinites, equal Sinim, equal China, are most likely to have become ancestors of the Oriental peoples. Seems reasonable that divine inspiration would include in such a table information concerning the ancestry of all the major streams of human development. It's reasonable to conclude that the Mongoloid peoples, and therefore also the American Indians, have mostly come from the Hamitic line, or that would be Ham, is the thinking. So, these are some word studies where these peoples ended up going, looking at their ancient cultures, how they referred to themselves. So Sin, Sinim, Cathay, Kitay seems to lend itself toward modern day China. So again, it's a lean. There are options. It could be China or it could be India. I would lean toward China. Make your own decision. Come to your own conclusions. Do your own homework. Appreciate you guys following along. And today we have the gray box. You can enter your name there, your email address, hit follow, and you will receive notification every time we put something out. Please feel free to share with others, PaulthePoke.com, and this will be categorized under PaulthePoke Prophecy Trend Update. Keywords: China, Galwan Valley, Himalayas, India, Kashmir. Type in any of those into the search box and you can pull up all the related articles regarding these topics. So appreciate you guys following along. Hope you have a great day. This is something we do want to keep our eyes on. Again, it's a trend. We know where it's going. The kings of the East will come into what will be Armageddon. They'll be part of the party, but it will be late in the party. Anyhow, y'all take care. Have a good one. Bye.